Welcome back to Nightly Dry Fire. In tonight's episode, we're going to be reviewing a police pistol course match hosted by the Hollywood Rifle and Pistol Club on a monthly basis. The Hollywood Rifle Pistol Club calls it their combat match, which is based on the NRA police pistol course match. The course of fire is the same. I don't know if there's actually any difference in it other than this is open to the public versus in the official NRA version of this match, it's for law enforcement and military personnel only. But seeing as I'm neither of those, here we are shooting it at the Hollywood Rifle and Pistol Club. First string of fire is real simple. 24 rounds at 7 yards in 2 strings. Each string you have 20 seconds to complete it. So not a particular time crunch. It's more about accuracy as opposed to time, although there's a little bit of a time element for some newer shooters. It might be a little bit challenging. Second course of fire, we move back to 15 yard, and once again it's 12 rounds in 20 seconds. For the second part of for the second half of the second course of fire, we move to a kneeling position and left hand side of barricade with the left hand, and then right side of barricade with the right hand. You can see here I am resting my right hand on the barricade. Some people use a little more force. Some people actually prop themselves up pretty heavily on that barricade. I find that a mere touch is enough to stabilize myself to get effective hits. But to each their own. This is what you're seeing is my kind of my strategy to attack the match. We are walking out to the 25-yard line to review the target. I had kind of a fluke in this match. You can see a lot of my shots are breaking just to the left of center there. It took me here to the third course of fire before I decided not to be so stubborn and adjust my sights. Earlier in the week, I had practiced with this pistol, as you may have seen in the shorts here on YouTube, and I was making great hits out at 50 yards on a 8-inch steel plate. Being 2.5 inches left at 7, 15, and 25 was kind of a shock to me, and I thought I was just pulling my shots, but no, it was my sights had gotten bumped somehow and got out of adjustment. So by the third course of fire, I had gotten frustrated, and I made the adjustments to the sights, and that helped. That helped significantly. But by then the match was hosed. There's no recovering for that. Currently, I'm targeting breaking 1430 with irons. My current high scores is 1423 with irons and 1463 with a red dot. So kind of put the red dot aside for a little while, and we'll be focusing on my irons. One day I'd like to say that I broke the club record for this match with irons. Club record is a 1472, I believe. 1500 being a perfect score. Here we are, course of fire 4B, 6 rounds in 12 seconds. You got to take your time, you got to get your shots, but 6 rounds at 25 yards in 12 seconds with a draw can be a little spicy, for sure. Ultimately, here the course of fire 5A and 5B is the main show. This is 48 rounds at 50 yards out of 150 rounds for the match in total. First position is seated. The second position is prone. Third position, we're back to left hand, left side of barricade, and the fourth position is right hand, right side of barricade. So 24 rounds. Each position you shoot 6 rounds. and then you change. So 24 rounds per course of fire. There are 2 identical course of fire at 50 yards. And this is a big challenge for a lot of shooters. 50 yards is a tall order. You need the equipment dialed in. You need your breathing dialed in. You need to have your technique all squared away, and you have to, something that I took for granted initially, but is very much a relevant issue. The different positions, your point of aim and point of impact, there's a shift. It took me a little while to figure out that, and well, I shouldn't say I figured out. I was enlightened by a fellow shooter that when you switch to your left hand, the distance between your eye and your sights on your gun is going to change ever so slightly, and so your point of aim needs to adjust for that. In my case, I need to be shooting, say 7 o'clock position around the 8 ring with my left hand to put the shots in the X ring, whereas with my right hand, aim for the X, hit the X. So it's kind of surprising that shift. So this is the first target at 50 that we just saw, and I put 2 shots low on that target, and outside the scoring rings. I don't typically do that anymore, so this was a particularly bad day for me. Between the sights being off for the first couple stages, and then dropping a number of rounds outside the scoring rings in the later stages. My score was less than ideal, as you'll see in a moment. Here we are shooting from prone. I'm shooting a CZ75 in this match. Well, that's not accurate. I'm shooting a CZ Custom Bull Shadow 2 in this match. Incredibly accurate gun. Ergonomically, the Shadow 2s are phenomenal. Last year at some point I borrowed a buddy's CZ Shadow 2, and it was a mistake. A short range session of 50 rounds, and it wasn't long before I had a CZ in my collection. Beautiful guns, very accurate out the box. I after spending a long time in the 1911s and a lot of money on high-end 1911s, I picked up a Shadow 2 and found it to be incredibly accurate for a stock gun. So quite the surprise. Now, whenever someone asks for a gun recommendation, I have a tendency to point them towards the Shadow 2s. My buddy's gun is just a generic Shadow 2, and its performance at 50 yards is phenomenal. The ergonomics, like I said before, are hard to beat. These are quality pistols. Here you can see the target as I finished up the match, and yeah, there's the atrocious score.